Hey guys, welcome to another Back to Nature Wellness series. I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. This is our second in the series, and I'm loving this. This is such a cool format, and what we intended to do when we designed this series was we wanted to help somebody out if they were just kind of getting started with wellness, or maybe they need a refresher course. It's like, where do I start? How do I start getting myself on the road to wellness? What are some things that I could do right away to take charge of my own health? And that's what we're sharing with you guys. And so we started out with a foundation and we're building upon that. And tonight we're talking about detoxing your environment. Okay. Detoxing your personal environment. That's what we're talking about. A lot of the inspiration and kind of to help me kind of keep on track and not forget any of those basic things comes from a certain book. And you guys, you can actually get a copy of it. It's called Road to Wellness. It's by Deborah Rayburn and Laura Hopkins. I know both of these ladies personally. They are gifted wellness educators. I've known them for several years and I haven't heard anything bad come out of their mouth. They're so good and they have lots of good material to share with you. And so I use this to kind of help keep me on track, so to speak. And tonight, when we're talking about detoxifying the environment, I'm going to actually read a little bit from the book because there's a lot of big words when you get into toxins and stuff. This is not my everyday speech, okay? So I'll be actually reading from the book a little bit to you. One of the first steps that I took on my personal road to wellness about 14 years ago was ditching toxins. I realized that when I started doing my own research that was huge. That it made a big impact. I started realizing that there was a lot of things in my house that were making me feel bad. They were making me feel sick. And I was like, that's something I can control. I can do something about that. And about 14 years ago, I was expecting my first baby. And that got me really serious about, I need to be thinking about other people, not just myself. I'm going to have a new little baby come in the world. She's going to be getting into all kinds of stuff. She's going to be crawling on the floor. And what did I mop that floor with? What do babies do? They're constantly putting their little hands in their mouth, right? Exactly. They're experiencing the environment that way. But what if I put something toxic in her environment and I didn't realize that was getting into her digestive system? I was like, no, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to do that. That's something I can change. I'm the gatekeeper of my home. You are too, guys. And I can change something about that. And so I started thinking, it's like, well, what did people clean with a long time ago? Vinegar, water, baking soda, things like that. I was like, okay, they had clean houses. We can do this. So that's what I did. I ditched the toxins and I started using things that probably my great grandmother used. Okay. And in my search for wellness, I went to a little used bookstore that was in town, and I found this used book that was about making your own household cleaners. And I was like, oh, cool, this is perfect. And started looking through it, and it talked about using a lot of those same ingredients I just mentioned, but it also talked about adding in something called essential oils to add for fragrance and to add for all kinds of different reasons. And I was like, that was my first time I'd ever read about essential oils. And I wondered, what is that exactly? I've heard of that. I think it's like a perfume or something like that. And I remember I had seen it at a health food store. So that's where I went. I went the first time for my essential oils. I went to the health food store and I got some tea tree and I got some orange and those were and pine. Those were some of the main ones that they like to make these cleaning recipes with. And I'm like, okay, awesome. I'll do that. Well, I started making my own household cleaners. Do it yourself. I made it. I was getting had some good scrubbing action. Things were happening. It was good. And then I started reading more about how essential oils could also be used to boost your wellness in lots of different ways. All these amazing stories. And I'm just like, what is this? I was like, that's pretty awesome. These same little bottles that I'm using to clean my house with, I could actually use that to like take care of my wellness. And I went, oh, that's awesome. Let's do this. So I did. I tried using them that way. I applied them topically. I put them in a diffuser. My diffuser went out there. I've got a diffuser up there. I put them in my diffuser and I actually ingested them too because I'd read people could ingest them and they're just plant juice, guys. So I was like, well, let's try it. I did not have all those amazing things people were saying. I didn't have that same result. And I went, all right, well, there's either thousands of people lying or there's something up with this oil that I'm using. I was like, something's up with this. So anyways, that was my first experience with essential oils. Fast forward few more years ahead, okay, guys, and I was still making my own cleaners, making my own laundry detergent. I mean, guys, I did everything, okay? It was very time consuming. It was time consuming, but it was worth it. I was saving a ton of money doing this as well. We were on a tight budget, and so I was committed to do this. I was committed to it for one, my family's safety, to also stay within our budget as well. But I was kind of bummed that those oils didn't work quite like everybody else had said. You know, I was like, whatever. Well, a friend introduced me to a different brand of essential oils. She introduced me to Young Living essential oils, and she said, Keely, there's a big difference, huge difference in essential oil brands. And she's like, you want to try this one for your health. She's like, this is therapeutic grade. You should try this one. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try it again. And I did. Guys, at that time, my health had been struggling. And I was pretty upset. I actually was praying for answers, and I had gone to lots of different medical professionals, and they were just not giving me much hope, and told me it was something I was going to live with the rest of my life. And then I tried these different essential oils. I tried Young Living, and I used them in a therapeutic way. And guys, I felt so different in just an hour's time. I felt so different. And I was like, okay, I feel it. I smell it. I smell a difference. This actually smells like an orange. This actually smells like a pine needle. That other stuff was like, kind of like it. This is real. It smells like I actually stepped out into a lavender field and crushed the plant with my foot. I smell the green in it. Well, okay, this is legit. So that right there got me started using Young Living essential oils. And when I did that, it opened up all different kinds of other things. It opened up a whole different world. It opened up a huge wellness community to me. I was so thankful for that, because all these people had different experiences, and they had different advice to offer to me, things that they had done. And it was amazing, guys. And that was 14 years ago. Or that was 14 years ago on my wellness journey. It was 10 years ago when I started using Young Living. And it's just been an amazing journey. So whenever I started using Young Living, like I said, I was making my own products, okay? And I started to see that Young Living had some amazing non-toxic plant-based cleaners, okay? And I went, oh, this is pretty cool. I could actually maybe stop making my own laundry soap. How much time can I save if I actually bought this, okay? So let me go ahead, and before I even go into that, let me go ahead and talk about what is in our products around our house. Okay, what was in my products before then? Maybe these are some things that's in yours. I'm going to give you some actual names of chemicals to look for. I'm going to encourage you all to be label readers. Okay, that's a starting point. You got to be a label reader. So our world's pretty toxic. There's stuff everywhere. There's lots of stuff loaded into different products, things we can't pronounce, things that we're looking at, we're going, I'm not even sure what that is, yet I'm going to rub it on my face. Or I'm going to stick my hands in that cleaner and I'm going to use it and my skin's going to absorb it. It might not be the wisest decision. So here's some of the different cleaners that we actually might be using. Ammonia. You've probably heard of ammonia, okay? Ammonia is found in cleaners that shine bathroom fixtures, glass sinks, okay? So it's that squeaky clean. That's what we usually use ammonia for, all right? What are the health risks with that? Poisoning can occur from just breathing ammonia. Well, if I'm opening up and using it, I'm gonna be breathing it, right? It's gonna happen. Ammonia mixed with bleach will create a toxic chlorine gas, which can be deadly. Yikes. Okay, so this is pretty toxic stuff. So what's a healthier choice? Now I'm going to show that with all these things for you. I'm going to give you a little bit of the health risk, but I'm also going to show you a healthier choice. Vodka or witch hazel. So an alcohol or witch hazel are a great choice to replace your ammonia with. Okay, you're going to get that squeaky shine, be great to actually clean any like your sink or glass, anything like that with that. So let's move on. So there's a good option right there. Okay. Chlorine. We've heard of chlorine. We probably swim in chlorine at times, right? Okay, so with chlorine, a lot of times it's found in labels for scouring or heavy duty cleaners. So think like your toilet bowl, mildew removal, laundry whiteners, those really tough cleaners. It's also in some communities tap water, right? There's if you're on city water, you've got probably a little bit of chlorine in that water. Health risk, it's a lot. The health risk from chlorine may be slow to surface, meaning we may not realize what it's doing to us right at the beginning, but they're typically chronic in nature. The concerns about endocrine disruption, guys, that's hormone disruption by chlorine, specifically to the thyroid, as it prevents the absorption of iodine and tyrosine. Okay, so what's happening there on a chemical level is when you're exposed to chlorine, especially if you're swimming in it, guys, the chlorine actually binds. So that you've got these little receptor sites in your body for like iodine to help support your thyroid. Okay, well, it actually binds with it. It fits in the same spot and it binds with it, and it blocks the iodine from being absorbed and used by your thyroid. Okay, let's think about that. I bet all of you know somebody whose thyroid's affected in some way, probably a negative way. Might be you. Mine was very slow. Okay, and so that was something that when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, that's important. I need to think about what am I going to do about using that chlorine, or when I'm getting into a chlorine pool, what can I do to kind of counteract that? Okay. There's some really cool studies out there. There's some things that people have tried themselves. So here's some healthier choices. Okay. For the cleaning aspect, getting rid of chlorine, scrubbing, you can stick with baking soda and Thieves Household Cleaner. Okay. This was my first cleaning product that I tried from Young Living. So Thieves Household Cleaner comes in a giant bottle. This is the big bottle right here. And then it also comes in a smaller bottle right here. Now, this bottle right here usually has a top on it. I've just actually, this was an empty bottle, and I stuck a spray on the top. And so this is actually diluted cleaner in here, ready to go. That way I've got multiple cleaners, and I already have the label on it. That's why I like that. Repurposing it, right? So yes, oh man, yeah, Tracy says convenience was a big help. Ready-made is so helpful, absolutely. So guys, this is concentrate. All I have to do is take this cap or the cap off of this one, and I can measure out amounts. It actually tells you the dilution ratios on the back, depending on what you're cleaning. Most cleaning applications, it's a 30-1. So that means one ounce, okay, of household cleaner to 30 ounces of water. Okay, that's a lot. It doesn't take much. So like with a bottle like this, I usually just take one capful of cleaner and fill it up the rest of the way. That's actually probably even stronger than it has to be, but it's just easy for me to do. I like easy. I don't know about you. I like easy. So that was my first introduction. And this household cleaner does every single thing. When you look through the ingredients, the first ingredient is water. Then there's a natural surfactant in there, and a surfactant just means it kind of holds together, kind of like how soap works. Okay, it's like a soap in a sense. There's a natural soap in there, and then it has essential oils. Okay, it's plant derived. That's what this is. And so I knew, and guess what's missing on this bottle though? This is what got my attention. There is no, in case of ingestion, please call poison control. That was huge to me. Remember, I had a little kid to think about. What could she get into? What could she accidentally drink? I didn't want her to get around anything. I was using vinegar and baking soda. That wouldn't have hurt her. This won't hurt her either. I don't have to worry about my kids using this. My kids clean. They're older now, and I've got them trained, and they are cleaning my house too. I don't have to worry about them being exposed to this. Okay, that's huge to me. It's a peace of mind. So instead of chlorine, replace it with this and a little bit of baking soda if you want some scrubbing action. Recently, Young Living expanded their cleaning line and they added this product. This is one of my new favorites, guys. This is the Thieves Kitchen and Bath Scrub. Okay, so think about different products that you might use around your sink to like scrubbing action. Think about those things. That's what this is like a good replacement for. okay? And it's got something called washing soda in it. It's not just, it's got baking soda, but it's also got washing soda. That is one of my first things that when I was replacing chemicals, I used washing soda. Okay, this is found on the laundry aisle at just pretty much any store. Okay, like any Walmart, any grocery store, you're gonna find this. Okay, people don't realize it's a little bit different. It's a different molecule from baking soda, and it's really good at cleaning. It's very good at stripping off greasy anything. The scrubbing action of this stuff's amazing. Yes, it does, Brent. It works fantastic. So that's already mixed in here. Plus the Thieves Also cleaner and a few other things, but seriously, the list is really short. It's all plant derived. I don't have to worry about this. A lot of those scrubbing products that I used before, and I didn't even mention this, part of my healing journey, my skin, guys, if you had met me back then, my skin was tore up. It was such horror. I mean, my at one point in time, I had no fingerprints. My skin was in that bad a shape, okay? And so just think about me getting my hands and cleaning. I mean, yeah, I would use gloves, but even the stuff on the inside of the gloves irritated my hands. That's how bad it was. And so cleaning actually hurt me physically every single time. And I was like, I'm done with this. You know what I could do even when my hands were like that? I could stick them in this straight, undiluted, and it did not hurt. And I went, this is amazing. This cleaner works, but it does not hurt me at all. You know what? These like really scouring action kind of scrubs from the store, they would burn me bad, like seriously bad. This one, tried it out the other day. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Yet it's still clean so good. So this is like my sink replacement. So I love this one again for the convenience of it. Could you make up your own with some baking soda and some Thieves House cleaner? Sure, absolutely you could. I just like the covenant convenience of it right there. Go ahead, Tracy.
I have made it up myself, but I don't know what the difference is, but it gets really hard and solid if I make it myself, which I've not had that issue with the one from Young Living.
Right.
So
absolutely.
You can still do it.
Yes. Thanks for pointing that out. But yeah, a lot of times you can't let the air hit it and stuff like that. That's usually a factor in some of those natural made stuff. Yes. So I love that. Moving on to the next. And guys, remember, you can chime in anytime. You're welcome. Fluoride. We've heard of fluoride, right? Yeah. Fluoride is in our tap water. It's added in our tap water. It's also in our toothpaste and mouthwashes and any kind of oral health products. What does fluoride do? Let's see. Okay, up to 2/3 of Americans are exposed to tap water, are exposed to fluoride through tap water. Well, yeah, so there you go. In most communities, pharmaceutical grade fluoride is added to the water to supposedly help prevent tooth decay and diminish cavities. However, this benefit has not been proven, and most European countries have refused to subject citizens to fluoridated water. It's banned. It's banned in Europe, guys. The World Health Organization recommends fluoride levels in drinking water stay between 0.08 and 1.2 milligrams per liter and below that. Sometimes it's not that in our drinking water. Sometimes it's higher than that. And you can tell it, and you can smell it, and you can taste it sometimes. I remember doing that at a few places I lived before, and I was like, ooh, that's not good. Okay, a healthier choice. Water filters. Filter your water. That's an easy way to take care of that. Now, a lot of the filters are not going to get absolutely all of it, but they're going to get the majority of it, and that's better than nothing, right? I purchased some water filters to put on my shower head. So the water we bathe in is filtered. They're not expensive. The ones I got for like $20, okay? Like $20 on Amazon, and you just replace the filter. The inside part every now and again. It's really only like about, I think twice a year we replace them. That's about it. It works pretty good for that. Makes a huge difference, especially if your skin is sensitive. Remember how sensitive my skin was? I could not bathe in city water at one point in time, guys. It was painful. It burned my skin even more. And that's when I'm like, something's got to give. This is why it's so important to me. I mean, I was experiencing a huge toxic buildup in my system, and I have worked for a while to detoxify that out of my system. And now I don't have a lot of those issues anymore. I did a lot of different lifestyle changes, but it's made such a huge difference. And I can tell a big difference. And that's why I share. That's why I do these things, is because you guys need to know about this. How do you filter the tub water? Turn on the shower head and fill it up. There are times that if I'm not going to do that, I make sure I add in a ton of Epsom salt. Epsom salt helps counteract a lot of those toxins in the water. Good question. Let's see. Okay, let's look at the oral health care. Okay, remember fluoride's added to all our oral care out there, pretty much all of it. You want to eliminate that. Look up studies on what fluoride does to, I believe it's your pineal gland. Is it your pineal or is it pituitary? Pineal. Yes, pineal gland. Look up calcification of the pineal gland. Fluoride is involved with that. Okay. And when you start to research that and look at the impacts that that has on your hormone health and just a ton of things. Your pineal gland is your master hormone gland, guys. It helps send signals to make the rest of them. Okay. Yes. So think about what that could be doing to you. All right. That's why it's so important. Let's see on the toothpaste. Okay. That was an easy fix because I didn't bring it. Thieves. There's a Thieves toothpaste from Young Living that is fluoride free. It's got baking soda. It's got coconut oil, baking soda. It's got all these things that you can read and you can identify, and some essential oils. Remember, it's plant juice. And brush your teeth with it. And they're wonderful. And I can give that to my kids too. I'm glad to say my kids have never had, that I'm aware of, a fluoride toothpaste in their mouth. I mean, they have always, I made those changes before they were born. And so we've been working on that from day one for them. Let's see.
Can I add that sometimes, because I travel a lot and having one more thing in my bag is really, it gets heavy. And when I say I travel a lot, meaning international and plane travel, at least pre-COVID. But sometimes I use essential oils to brush my teeth. Like if I have thieves, now I can handle straight thieves in my mouth. Most people cannot because it is very strong. But I sometimes have used Sleek Essence, which is an actual water additive, which is great in your mouth. It's very flavorful, very cleansing. So sometimes I have done that. And also because I have my Thieves mouthwash in the travel thing, sometimes I use this as a toothpaste just to not have as many extra things that I bring with me. Yes. So I just want to put that out there, that with our oils, they are so vastly, they vary and helping in so many different ways. And no, the citrus oils do not damage the enamel of your teeth. So that is caused from the acidity of the juice, not the rind. So the oils are very, very helpful, and they're actually whitening. They help bright and white, especially orange oil. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit.
Yes, thank you. That's awesome. Before I go much further too, I wanted to ask my friend Melissa that's on here. Melissa, I know you keep kids in your house a lot of times. Have you kind of changed up some of the cleaners that you use in your house?
Yes, for sure. I keep littles pretty much every day of the week because I babysit in my home. And before I started babysitting in my home, I was already making that switch to Thieves household cleaner, just because I have kids myself. I mean, they are older now, but I wanted them to be able to help me clean without the damages of being in a closed-in bathroom with no ventilation. I mean, so I'd already made that switch, but yes, I feel extremely comfortable using Thieves cleaner on everything. Like I actually bought a mop that has a Swiffer mop, and I poured the solution out, cleaned the bottle, and I put Thieves household cleaner and water in it, and that's what I clean my floors with. And just to help make sure everything is clean. I mean, like if a child is chewing on a toy, because most of mine are teething right now, if I see they're chewing on a toy and they lay it down, I pick it up, go spray it off, put it in the drainer so it dries. And then in 30 minutes or so, when it's dry, it's back on the floor with the toys or in the basket with the toys. And I mean, I've had parents ask me, what do you clean with? Because this is amazing. And I mean, like, Legos, like the big, was it Duplo? The really large giant Legos. Like
Mhm.
it's hard to sit there and spray every one of them. But
Right.
I've taken those Legos and put them in the sink and put Thieves Household Cleaner and water and let them soak and then put them out in the sunshine and let them dry. And then they're clean. I mean, I've actually brought our church nursery's toys home and cleaned them the same way. And I was doing that pretty regularly, but life got busy. But yeah, I my entire house is clean with Thieves Cleaner, and it's really helped make sure my house is clean, smells good, and safe.
There you
So,
go. That's awesome. I love that you brought up about the Swiffer cleaner because that's something I did the same thing. I actually found a Swiffer mop that was it was sold empty. It actually didn't have any
oh
chemicals
wow.
added to it. And I went, oh, jackpot. So, and I didn't even buy the reusable heads. I just take a dishcloth, just a little
Mhm.
dishcloth,
And
wet
stick
it and stick it in, and then I don't have to keep buying more of those, and I can just throw it in the wash. But I use the Thieves Household Cleaner, and that's what we do over the whole
I
house.
found I found a pack of the microfiber cloths on sale for like $2, and those are my mop heads.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good ideas. What you got, Tracy?
I just want to add for anybody that may be concerned about having lots of other people's kids in your house and cleaning them, there is a MSDS sheet on the Thieves Household Cleaner to show that it is safe and that it can be used in a business environment.
There you
Just
go.
to cover everything that we do, there is a sheet on that, and we can get that to you if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how many
Can I-
churches are actually able to be able to use it, or many places are
Right.
able to get it in their place of business.
Mm-hmm.
This is still using the Thieves Cleaner talk, but my mom bought a fogger machine, to put you're supposed to put types of chemicals in it. I don't know what all you put in it, but she's actually planning on using the Thieves Cleaner to see how it works so that she can spray down her car, her house. I mean, so that's something that I haven't had experience with, but she was planning on trying to do that.
That is so cool. I love that. I haven't heard of that option. Now I have actually used it in a steam cleaner. I've taken it and put it in a steam cleaner to steam clean my carpets and upholstery, and it worked fantastic. It does not have a foaming action, so it's not gonna like overflow or anything like that. Guys, I have seriously used Thieves Household Cleaner in every single part. Like it's been thrown in my dishwasher before when I ran out of my dishwashing tablets, and I have thrown it and used it in my laundry when I ran out of laundry soap. And you know what? It cleaned fantastic in all those different areas. And it's strong, guys, but it's not so strong that it removes things in the sense of like, it's not gonna like lighten your clothes or strip them down in that sense. It's just pretty amazing. Go ahead, Melissa.
I've actually used it as just regular hand washing your
Yeah.
dishes. Like I've put it in a foaming pump bottle and added some water and threw a couple of drops of Thieves in there with it and just squirted on the brush. And
That's awesome.
if I just had a few hands to wash, because I
Right.
run out quite often of things.
I love it. That's awesome. I haven't done the foaming action, but I have washed dishes with it too. And again, didn't hurt my hands. It actually made my hands feel better. I'm just saying, that's something right there. And the dishes were squeaky clean. So yeah, seriously, that was the first step that I did after I just started making my own with Young Living, that I realized it's actually more cost effective if I just go ahead and buy the cleaner. It was cheaper to buy the cleaner. I'd crunched the numbers and I went, okay, there's my answer. So I started using that. It was awesome.
We've actually used Thieves Cleaner to clean our bowling balls that have gotten real dirty, and it works out. It has worked out really great.
Uh-huh. Very cool.
I actually have a friend of mine who uses the Thieves Household Cleaner, and he does professional detailing in cars, and he uses it to clean out all the cars inside and out.
Oh,
That's what I was going to mention. I remember some story I remember from Deborah Rayburn. She had a friend that would lease a car and turn it in every time. And it was like white interior leather. And like she had denim like the color come off her denim. And so Deborah shared with her Thieves Household Cleaner, and it cleaned the color off of the interior of the car. And she was like, oh, I don't need to get a new lease yet. I'll just keep this one for a little while longer. I don't know where that story came from, but I remember that from years ago.
That's wild. Yeah. I've actually even used it to bathe our dog with before. I'm not joking. It's that safe, and it clean and it deodorized that pup. Just make sure to get it in your eyes, but it worked great. So yeah, seriously can do anything.
And if I can't find hand sanitizer or the Thieves hand spray, it's always the Thieves cleaner is always sitting on my kitchen counter. So I'll just grab it and spray my hands, rub them together, and okay, I'm on to the next thing.
Absolutely.
Because I know it's safe.
Haley,
Yes.
what was it that we were using at your house when we did the foot bath? And you put that Thieves on my pants because it was something that came off and it was on my pants. Yeah, we used that. Was it rust? What was that? They got on my pants. It would have never come out.
That was just from the Detox foot bath. That was just like the dew and stuff, but it got on your pants. And I just pour a little bit of household cleaner on it.
That amazed me. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gone.
This is my spot treatment too, guys. This is what I use as a spot treatment on my clothes. It's just that easy. You don't have to think about what all you're getting. If you just get this, you're going to be able to handle all different kinds of things. Yeah, that's so cool. Thanks for bringing that up, Amber.
Yeah, and one of my friends just today on her Facebook story, she's a real estate agent, and she says most real estate agents are going to clean it, but they went in and one of the carpet had a big stain, and she had used the approved cleaner to get the spot up, and it wasn't working. She used it twice, didn't work, but guess what did? Thieves Household Cleaner. So that was pretty amazing.
That is so cool. I saw that. I remember seeing that today. It was amazing. It was a pretty dark, rusty kind of.
It was.
Yes.
So we could probably talk all night about amazing stories because all of us probably have a ton of them.
Absolutely. Yes, for sure. Let's move on to some more chemicals that we need to be looking for. Okay. Glycol ethers. All right. What are glycol ethers? Well, they're abbreviated in like several different ways. EGBG is one way, and DEGME. Okay, that's the two ways a lot of times it's abbreviated. They're usually found in window, kitchen, and multi-purpose cleaners. Okay, the most common, let's see, currently the US law does not require this particular chemical to be listed on a product's label. It doesn't even have to be listed on there, but it can be in there. But the US EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, sets a standard on EGBE for workplace safety. Some things that make you go, it's not safe in workplaces, yet it can be added into our cleaners. Sometimes it doesn't add up, guys. Okay. So healthier choice. You can use vinegar and Thieves Household Cleaner to clean your windows. You can add in that baking soda, essential oils for any kind of cleaning power, or you could add in other essential oils to change the fragrance. You could totally do that if you want to make your Thieves, which kind of has a cinnamony, kind of spicy smell. The Thieves Household Cleaner is not quite as spicy as the oil itself. I love it. It has such a nice, pleasant scent. I haven't found many people that don't like the scent of the household cleaner. The oil itself can be strong in a sense, and it smells very spicy. But if you want to change that into smelling more citrusy, add in some orange or lemongrass, something like that. You can totally change it up. So let's look at another one. This one's called, oh boy, here we go. Oh boy, I did not practice this, obviously. Perchloroethylene. I got it. Perchloroethylene. It's known as PERC. There you go. PERC. It's found in dry cleaning solutions, spot removers, carpet, upholstery cleaners. Just talking about this, right? Okay. Health risk. It's a neurotoxin. It's going to affect your brain. Okay. It's a neurotoxin. It's classified by the EPA as a possible carcinogen, because that's a fancy word for saying it causes the big C word. Okay. That's what that is, because scientists are still learning of the long-term effects of PFCs on the human body. They're not sure exactly what it'll do. It's that bad. The route of exposure is often inhalation. You're smelling it, okay? That telltale smell in clothes when they return from the dry cleaner. That's what you're smelling. You're smelling PERC, okay? The fumes that linger after cleaning carpets. So here's a healthier choice. Learn this. I personally just don't even get things dry clean anymore. I didn't realize there is an option at times when you go to your dry cleaner. You can ask if they offer water-based technology rather than chemical solvents. Some dry cleaners offer that. So that's an option. Dry clean only items can also be taken to a wet cleaner instead. They know how to do it. They can do that for you. I have actually chosen to hand wash a few things and just let them air dry. It just depends on what it is, but that's what I usually do. And just don't get them clean very often if it's, I just try not to. For a safer spot remover, look for a non-toxic brand of something else. We just talked about what a spot cleaner right here. Okay, there's your spot cleaner. You could use that instead. All right, moving on. Here comes another big one. Perfluorochemicals. Perfluorochemicals, it's PFCs. Okay, I did kind of recognize that one. PFCs are found in non-stick cookware, stain-resistant coatings on clothing, furniture, and carpets. Teflon. Okay, that's what we're talking about here, the non-stick stuff. PFCs are endocrine disruptors. They mess with your hormones. They are completely resistant to biodegradation in the environment or in your body. Guys, that means it doesn't break down. They don't break down on the outside or on the inside of you. That's kind of scary. Scientists are still learning the long-term effects on the human body, but animal studies have shown damage to the thyroid and the sex hormone levels. There you go, okay? Yeah, I mean, a lot of us probably used nonstick cookware before. A lot of us might still be using it. I ditched it a long time ago when I realized that what's that stuff peeling up? It's getting in my food. Should I be eating that? No. Okay, again, think back. What did grandma use? What did great grandma use? Stainless steel, cast iron. Yes, those are good quality things to cook. Actually, chefs love to cook. Those are premier. Okay, it really is. They're wonderful. You have a hard time messing up a cast iron skillet. I'm just gonna say, and even if it's messed up, you can reseason it and bring it back to life. I have done that. I've bought stuff at garage sales before that they don't realize what they have. Sell it to me for like $1, and I'd take it home, and that thing might have been a $50 kettle before, and reseason it, and I've got a brand new cooking dish. Okay. So that stuff's good. Go ahead, Tammy.
You have to watch. I heard recently that some of the iron skillets now are coated with stuff. So you have to watch
That's
your
correct.
brands or clean that off or something.
Right. You could always reseason it yourself, pop it in the oven and burn it off. That's honestly what I would do. I mean, I'd clean it out.
Mhm.
And guys, remember, when you clean cast iron, you don't use soap. Okay. You don't do that. You'll mess up the seasoning. So there's really good ways to clean it, just hot water. And I found also you can get something, it's actually chainmail. It is a chainmail scrubber that you can get online, and it's amazing for scrubbing stuff off of your cast iron. But I would clean it and I'd throw it in using it. But thank you, Tammy, for pointing that out. But yeah, they're finding ways to kind of put it on different things. Absolutely. So let's see, what else could you use? Titanium cookware is okay. It's okay to use that. Also choose clothing fabric that's natural and chemical free. If you see something that's labeled as fire or water resistant, it's been treated. It's been treated. Cotton is not fire or water resistant. It's going to burn up or it's going to get wet unless it's been treated. Okay. So look for that. That's an instant no-go for me when I'm buying clothes for me or my family. Go ahead, Tracy.
I just want to mention there's a movie called Stink, and it talks about the stuff that they spray on children's pajamas that are so dangerous, and how they tried talking to the manufacturer about it to try to find out what it was. And it was like they were covering it up. And really, you have to be your own best advocate. So the movie was called Stink, and I think you can watch it free on Netflix or Amazon or maybe even YouTube. I don't remember. I just know I didn't pay for it.
Right. Yes. And that's something that, I mean, guys, you can even feel it on the clothes, but they're usually going to tell you it's going to be clearly labeled. And most pajamas are labeled that. I don't buy them. Just keep digging, guys. There are still companies that sell 100% cotton pajamas, and that's what I get my kiddos. And yeah, we've been gifted some, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, but it's like, I'm not going to put my kid in that. It's not okay. Yes, because think about what that's doing to their hormones as they're developing. Okay. They're susceptible to that, just like you and me. So another healthier choice, you could also think about like your Instapots out there, which are fantastic. We'll talk more about them in a class later down the road, but Instapots are usually stainless steel on the inside. Great way to cook. Okay. Also, I put down, stainless steel baking sheets. Most of your cookie and muffin tins and stuff, that's usually non-stick, right? You can get stainless steel. I have replaced almost every one of them. I've replaced all of them. It's either stoneware or it is stainless steel. And what I'll use parchment paper that's been non-bleached and non-treated to have a non-stick surface, or I'll use coconut oil or olive oil or something like that. And sometimes butter, and just grease it if I need to. There you go. It's things that sometimes we have to sit there and think about. That's what we're doing this series. Tammy, did you have something else?
Yeah, as in the children's clothing, I know there's a lot of clothing. I try to buy her mostly cotton pajamas, but and I'm not sure if they're treated. Would it be okay to buy, just like let her sleep in regular day clothes?
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
why not?
I think part of the reason with the kids' clothing, they're tighter fitting. I think for the fire retardant, or not retardant, but fire resistance, so that they don't catch fire easier, or aren't loose to catch.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You could. I have friends that she actually dresses her kids for the next day, and that is their pajamas, and so that way they get them out and ready to go to school. They're ready. There is no grumping and grouching. You do too, Melissa? Oh, look at that. Less clothes to buy too, right? I mean, just think of it like that. Absolutely. There's no problem with that. Go ahead.
When my kids were younger and mornings were not easy, it was like, get your clothes picked out, and if you want to wear them, you can. And now my daughter, who's 13, they never slept in jeans. Like that was not a thing. But now she's 13 and she's like, jeans are comfortable. I want to sleep in jeans. And I'm like, what? Why? But anyway, I did do that when the kids were younger. Yeah. All they wore were athletic shorts. For my son, athletic shorts and a t-shirt, and the girls would just wear a t-shirt and they'd put pajama bottoms on, and then their shirt they were going to wear to school the next day.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, made the mornings go easier because we didn't have to fight to figure out what we were going to wear.
There you go. I'm all about easy. Go ahead, Tracy.
I was just going to say, we've gotten into a culture of over cleaning and over a lot of things. Many countries in the world, they don't put pajamas on. It's whatever as soon, and they don't even bathe every day, because actually that takes away a lot of your microbiomes off of your skin that we actually need. And so we just have to realize that our culture that we live in here in America is not what is the norm throughout the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm just going to throw that part in there.
That's great. That's a really good thing to consider for sure. Absolutely. Good comments. And Norma says, she said my boys do the same, probably on the getting dressed, I'm guessing, on getting dressed for the next day. Awesome. Okay, so let's think of a couple others. I'm going to go through, since we're kind of getting close to our time, I'm going to go through a couple kind of quickly, but there's a couple I really want to focus on though. So phthalates, okay, that's a fragranced household products, air fresheners, soap, paper products, plastic food containers. Okay, plastic food containers will leach out estrogen and mess with your hormones. Okay, guys, watch for the word fragrance on the label, because that most likely means phthalates are present. Okay.
I want to mention on the plasticware, it's not even, they don't even have to go in the microwave for that to happen.
Mm-mm.
Just putting your food in a plastic container, the plastics will leach into the food. And then if you microwave it, oh my goodness, we won't go there. But I just wanted to make sure we mentioned that part.
Yes, absolutely. Switch over to glassware, glass containers, ceramic, anything like that. It's also going to save you money in the long run too. Okay, you're not having to ditch all these different things. That's what I've done. I mean, it was a gradual process, but I did. I switched it all out over time. So they are known to be endocrine disruptors. So think about what you're using in your air fragrance. What are you burning in a candle? Okay, we're getting up and I'm gonna call it almost candle season right now. We're all about fragrances in the air and fall, and come holidays, we want all these beautiful scents in our home. What are we doing to ourselves? Okay, be careful. Realize that it will impact you. Some of those headaches you might be experiencing may be coming from the fragrance you have in the air. It's a possibility. Okay, so guys, what I did was I switched over to diffusers. I put my pure plant juice, my essential oils in a diffuser, and I had a beautiful scented home that was actually benefiting our bodies. And I still, some of these diffusers have candlelight flicker mode, so you have that ambience. Okay, I missed that for a while. So when I got that candlelight flicker, I was like, yes, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So you can still do that and have a nice smelling home and benefit and boost your body. Okay. Propylene glycol. There's a biggie. Okay. Propylene glycol. When I first learned about this, I was just like, yikes. It's in everything. Okay. What is it? It's actually, it's a product that is derived off of oil drilling. Okay, it comes out of the ground, so it is natural. It comes out of the ground, it's natural, but it's coming off. It's almost like the leftover product, the byproduct from petroleum drilling. Okay, guess what they do with that? EPA says that, oh, we can't throw that in the ocean. Oh, we can't bury that. We can't get rid of it in ways like that because it might affect the fish and it might do this and that. Let's put it in food products. Not joking. It's in our food products, guys. Look, read your labels. The first one I saw, some of the big culprits are boxed cake mixes, any kind of boxed baked goods, because it helps keep the moisture in the product. I'm not going to call them out by name, but if you see them, it says super moist. That is propylene glycol, guys. They may say, oh, we added pudding and stuff. Well, they might have, but they also added propylene glycol in there. There are some cake mixes on the market that do not have it in there. You're probably going to find those at a health food store though. Okay. So you need to be looking for that, but it's also in shampoos, toothpaste, shaving foam, body washes, facial cleansers. It's also the part that makes the bubbly action. Okay. It's part of that too. There's another one that does a lot of that bubbling action, but it's part of it. It helps with that foaming kind of action to keep things, to hold in the moisture. I do not want to put that on my skin.
So food flavorings in the little brown bottles, number one ingredient of all of the top brands is propylene glycol.
Because it's odorless and it's tasteless.
Yep.
You have no idea it's in there. It's still going to taste like vanilla or almond extract or whatever. It's still going to taste like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have no clue that that's in there. But again, they got to get rid of it somehow. Guys.
But it's just a little bit. It's not going to hurt you if you just have a little bit. But the problem is the accumulation over all of the products over all of our years. That's why people can say, well, when I was, 5 years ago, I could use this and it didn't bother me. But now they can't use laundry soap or certain things because of the accumulation over time.
Yes, absolutely. Norma mentions my Boss Love Bath and Body Works plugins that were giving me headaches. She was kind enough to not put them around my work area. Well, thank goodness, because a lot of those synthetic scents are going to affect you and build up those bioaccumulation of what Tracy is talking about. It's going to affect you if it's not right away. In the long run, it will. Okay, you've got to work to get it out of your system. So the European authorities have limited the use of propylene glycol to mostly non-food uses. They pretty much don't want it in the food. They know. Various research and studies raise concern for the skin, liver, kidney, and cell mutations following contact with propylene glycol. So it's doing all kinds of stuff on the inside that we don't want to happen. Healthier choice, use sulfate-free products. When you see that they're free from sulfates, that means they do not have propylene glycol in them and a few other things as well. For washing your body, nourishing or hydrating your skin. Guys, guess what Young Living also has? They've got a full line of body care products, face washes, all these things, and none of them have propylene glycol in them. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
Yes, and they're
Yeah.
also very good about being super concentrated. They last a long time. Okay, and I love that about them. Go ahead, Melissa.
I was just going to share a story. When I worked out of the home, you know, the soap dispensers that are near the sinks and in the bathrooms, I got to noticing in the winter, I always have very dry skin in the winter, but I got to noticing, I work in childcare, so I was constantly washing my hands after every diaper change, you know, wiping a nose, everything. And I got to noticing my hands were just the worst they've ever been. Now that I work at home, babysitting at home, and I'm only using Thieves soap to wash my hands, like my hands are much better. Like this, I don't even remember last winter having that. I can't stand to, you know, like you were saying earlier, how your hands just burned if anything touched them. That's how my hands were, because I was constantly washing with soap that wasn't good for them. But I've noticed a huge difference being able to make my decisions on what soap I use.
Right. And some of those actually remove like the microbiome. They remove the oils that are naturally on your skin, and they leave it open to the air and to all kinds of things. And that's part of why it was cracking. I mean, it was doing all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I grabbed a couple of soaps. This one right here, this is one of my favorite seasonal ones. It's called Christmas Spirit. It's available all the time. This one's scented like Christmas Spirit. So if you really are like, oh, I love all those scented soaps and the scented lotions, and I love that so much, well, guess what? We've got them. And again, it's got the plant juice. It's got essential oils in it. This one, I love this one. Luscious Lemon. This one came out recently, and there's actually a matching Luscious Lemon lotion with it. Makes me so happy. I absolutely love this one. But yeah, so we've got stuff that does not have those ingredients in it. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Ooh, I'm not even going to try to actually pronounce this one. It's called Quats. Quats. You could, if you want to Google it, you'd find it by that. Okay. Found in fabric softener liquids and sheets. Most household cleaners that are also labeled antibacterial. Okay. That's what it's found in. Health risks. In antimicrobial, it breeds antibiotic resistant bacteria. Okay. It's getting rid of too much, another way. It's a skin irritant linked to dermatitis and potentially respiratory issues. A healthier choice, white vinegar. Add white vinegar to the rinse of your clothes. It works just as good as any fabric softener, guys. It does. And it's I mean, it's cheap too. Okay. You could do that. Also use wool dryer balls. You throw in wool dryer balls, and that works like your sheets. Okay. It helps reduce the static. You can also throw in some essential oils on the wool dryer balls. Oh, look, Melissa's got them. Show us to them, Melissa. Say something and unmute so they can see you.
I happen to be in my laundry room right now because it's the quietest place of my house. So they happen to be in the basket right in front of me. And honestly, sometimes I have oils that are those freebies that I have no clue what to use, but they smell good. But I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. So the wool dryer balls get the oils on them that I don't know what to use, and they get thrown in the dryer. So
perfect. And they're benefiting you. That's awesome. So there you go. You can fragrance your clothes and make them smell good and avoid all those toxic chemicals. Very good. I'm glad you're in your laundry room to demo for us. Sodium hydroxide. Okay, that's lye soap. That's what that is. Well, hold up, lye soap, that's something like grandma and great grandma used. You know, they use that all the time. Here's the thing. In concentrated amounts, it is caustic. Okay, it's really bad for you. It can cause severe burns if it touches your skin, gets in your eyes, or you inhale it. It's often used as oven cleaners or drain openers. So that kind of stuff. That's what that one's used for. You can clean the grimiest things with Thieves household cleaner. No joke. Add in that baking soda, add in washing soda. Try this. Guys, I am so impressed with this. I'm actually using it in lots of different other ways. I'm just trying it on different surfaces. Some things don't like it as much. Some of it almost leaves like a slight residue. Here's the thing, if you get a residue, you're using too much, okay? And you might actually have to go back in with just a damp, wet cloth and just kind of wipe that off. That's all you got to do. But I had a friend, she's like, it's leaving a residue. I'm like, you just put a teeny tiny sprinkle and scrub it up, and there it comes off, okay? It does not take much of it at all. Let's see. So here we go. Last couple of ones, sulfates. Sulfate compounds. This is a biggie right here. It's in almost every personal care product, such as shampoos, toothpaste, shaving foam, body washes, and facial cleaners. This was the one too that has that foaming action. We think clean means bubbles. Okay, we think that when we're washing our sink, it's got to be bubbly and foamy, and that our bathtub has to be all bubbly and foamy. That is SLS. Okay, that's sulfates is what's doing that. They're listed under a myriad of names. Okay, most common being sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS. You'll also see SLES. Anything that's pretty much got sodium lauryl or laurel, or there's that. There's all kinds of versions of it, guys. If you need help with that, I can share that with you. But if you see that, you probably want to question it. Okay, just question it and look up to see what it is. The health risk, it disrupts the natural biome of our bodies. Okay, they are primary surfactants. Okay, which foam, and they're the reason we get that foaming action that we're thinking of. Okay, they also strip away the vital moisture, peptides, proteins, and the waterproofing oils that are naturally occurring on our skin and expose it to harmful elements. And that's why Melissa was telling us that when she's using Young Living soap at home, her skin is not getting near as dry in the wintertime because it's leaving the good there. It's cleaning off and making sure it's clean, but it's leaving the good layer there. Okay, that's important. Let's see. Okay, so there's a ton. Like I said, we've got a full line of body care products. So if you're looking for something in particular, if you're just like, well, I'd like to maybe replace my toothpaste, or I'd like to replace my foaming wash. I want a clean face, but I don't want to. Sometimes it's just too drying to me. Talk to us. We'll share with you some of these things. And there's something for each different type of skin, because everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. Some of us have more dry skin. Some of us has more oily skin. There's something for everybody. Okay. So just ask us if you have some questions about skin or body care products, and we'd be glad to share some of our experiences with you and tell you what we've tried out. Triclosan. Here's our last one for the night. Triclosan. It's bad. It's so bad that they finally actually banned it in 2016. Here's the thing. It's still in a lot of products because there's still stuff that have been stocked and on shelves for years and years, and you still maybe get triclosan in there. What is it? It's found in antibacterial soaps, hand sanitizers, clothing, furniture, and toys. You'll see things labeled and say, oh, featuring triclosan. That's an instant no to me. Instant no. Guys, you know what I train my kids to do? Remember, we've been on this journey since they were bitty. So when we would go to public restrooms, I trained them to not wash their hands in a public restroom. Yep, I did, because I did not want them getting that triclosan on their hands. I would bring some Thieves hand sanitizer with me, and I'd teach them to hold their hands out and let mommy put a little bit on. She knows, don't wash your hands.
I don't like soap.
She doesn't like soap, but you'll use this soap, won't you? Yeah, she does like our soaps. So she'll use our soaps, but she knows and she knows to recognize soaps that are good. Okay, but when we're in public spaces, she does not. And they actually have their own hand sanitizer now. So they've got their own, and that's what we do. So what does triclosan do to your health risk? Disrupts the endocrine system. Guys, did you hear how many things we listed tonight that mess with your hormones? How many of us have struggled with hormonal health? Okay, how many of us may have things that are unexplained that are going on in our lives, and we're like, I'm not sure what's going on with me. Guys, it could be your hormones. It totally could be, or it just could be the toxins in your life, okay, that you need to ditch and get some of those toxins out of your life. Your body may start working properly when you ditch the toxins. My skin cleared up. Again, I made several lifestyle changes, but my skin cleared up. I have not had issues with that. And I lived with that since I was a little girl. I have fingerprints again. Okay. So I'm just saying, yes, it also lowers the immune system. Right. It absolutely does, for sure. Because if we're constantly putting anti things on our system and cleaning it too much, we're messing up the biome, we're messing up the immune system and its properties of what it's there for, to protect us. And we're wreaking havoc on it. We don't need to do that. That's how superbugs happen. That's how superbug happens. And I'm not the only one saying that, guys. There are medical professionals that are recognizing this to this day. There are plenty of studies out there talking about it right now. Okay. Let's see. Healthier choice: washing with water and good quality soap, like Thieves hand foaming soap, the hand sanitizer, and also dishwashing liquid. The last thing I'm going to show you, that one of my favorite do-it-yourself. I still make these and I love them. Okay, I make my own dishwasher tablets. Okay, and I keep them in a mason jar. And what do I use for this? I use washing soda. I make them. There's my little heart. I make them. This is a candy mold, guys. This is just a silicone candy mold that I use, and this fits in my dishwasher. That's the main thing, is, will it fit in my dishwasher? That's what you ask yourself. There's a strawberry one. I have to actually break off the leaf for it to fit, but it works. But this is a silicone candy mold, and this is a mixture of washing soda, Thieves household cleaner, lemon essential oils. Sometimes I use citrus fresh. Citrus oils are really good at degreasing and really getting squeaky clean. And it has salt. It has some pink salt in it, Himalayan salt. That's what I have. And so it's got that in it, and I believe that's it. That's it. Yeah, isn't it, babe? You made the last batch. That's it. Yeah. Washing soda, salt, Thieves household cleaner, a little bit of water, I believe. There's a little bit of water in there, and salt for the scrubbing action. And it's pretty cool. You be sure you mix this up in a stainless steel, and I can share this with y'all later. I'll share the actual recipe with you. But it's pennies, guys. We mix up a whole batch, and that'll last us at least a full month. And super easy for the kids to load as well. Yes. They love it. So it doesn't take me long at all to mix that up and set. Go ahead, Melissa.
You mentioned the candy mold. I actually found silicone molds at the Dollar Tree over the summer. So that's a very inexpensive way to get a mold to make do-yourself stuff.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
So I think I got shell-shaped ones, but I mean, it depends on the season. They may have some different ones now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's the other thing I wanted to show you, my laundry soap hack. Okay, so Young Living makes their own laundry soap. Remember I told you I used to make my own soap? I mean, I actually would grate the soap and measure all this stuff out. And there's a liquid gooey mess one, and then there's one that's a dry powder mess, and it was just, I got tired of it. It was time consuming. So when they came out with this, I was like, okay, let's see. It's only 64 loads, it says. I was like, that's not very much. I wonder how long it's going to last me. Okay, I had just a conventional washing machine, and I read about somebody that said, hey, this is ultra concentrated, 6 times ultra concentrated. What if we dilute this down? And they did. I wrote it down what they did. They dilute it down to make 1 bottle into 2. Now I'm going to show you in a minute what I do. But for 2 bottles, they remove 16 ounces of soap, so half the bottle. Just pour it into like a measuring cup or something. Add 3 capfuls of the Thieves household cleaner. Okay, so 3 capfuls of this. Add that to it. And then you add the 16 ounces of water back to it to fill up the difference, right? And you get right there, that makes 25 cents a load. It only costs $0.25 in a regular washing machine, and you get 128 loads. Okay, you doubled your amount. Now in a high efficiency washer, 12 cents a load, and you get 256 loads. That's like using, it's like using a tablespoon of cleaner is all you need for a load. Isn't that crazy? Well, I thought, it says it's 6 times diluted. Could I dilute it down more? You betcha. I do. I get 3. I get 3 bottles out of it. That's a different thing, baby. I get 3 bottles out. She's my little helper. And see, what I did is I actually write on the back, so to help us keep it with, I just write diluted on the back. So I know this is my diluted, ready to go. and I get 3 loads out of that. So that's going to be cheaper than 25 cents a load. Okay. The only thing I do different, I still follow the same amounts. I add in the 3 capfuls of household cleaner to each one of them, but I also add in 20 drops of Digest essential oil. Digest is really good at breaking down biological things. And hey, I'm a biological thing and I wear clothes. So let's break that down. And I mean, it also helps break down odors and things like that. So any really stinky load of clothes, it's got that extra Digest in it. So I add 20 drops of Digest, 10 drops of citronella or lemongrass. And just like Melissa, I had a bunch of citronella one time. And I was like, let's try adding this to my washing machine. Let's see what happens. Guys, it's so purifying. It's great for removing odors. It smells like lemon. It smells so good. So I used 10 drops of citronella, and then I added 10 drops of tea tree because I had a ton of tea tree oil. And I'm like, let's use this one too. And so that's what I do. And my laundry smells so good. I will sometimes take baking soda and mix it up with a few more drops of essential oil in it. And I'll shake it on, sometimes like a 1/4 cup or something. I buy big bags of baking soda. And I'll shake that on top of the load. And that really helps quite a bit. Go ahead, Melissa.
I also make my own, I call it amped up thieves laundry soap is what I call it when I stretch it out like that. But it also makes a really good stain remover if just the thieves cleaner by itself doesn't help. I mean, I have a toothbrush in here for just stain scrubbing, and I'll just put it on and scrub it with toothbrush. And it's a good amped up stain remover.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, that's what I do too. I'll just pour a little bit on there and scrub it in. Very good. Yes, awesome. So let's see. That is washing soda. Thank you. Can you put it down? Thank you. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover tonight. Yeah. I mean, guys, here's for the other 2 things. I was going to show you a couple other resources you could check out. The Chemical Free Home. This is an awesome little booklet. It's actually, this is a little bit older design. It's actually been redone. It's by Melissa Pepping. It's a wonderful, it's all different kinds of do-it-yourself recipes in here and tells you how to make switches. I mean, like if you want to make hairspray, what my hairspray's got some of these things in it. What can I do for that? I make my own hairspray with it. It's easy. Involves like Epsom salt and citrus acid and stuff like that. It's stuff that I could actually consume. But there's 2 different ones that are for household products, and then there's one that's actually the 3rd one that they made was for baby care products, so you can make your different baby care products. Another one that I really like is called Frugal, Clean Living on a Budget. It's by Rhonda Favano, and she goes in and she breaks down the cost of everything in here. Okay, she shows you how you could do this and how do I replace this one for that one, that kind of things. What could I use? Love it. So she's got a bunch of recipes in here, and she really breaks down and goes into the different chemicals and toxins out there and what they do. So this is a great booklet if you're just like, well, I'm trying to get started with this, and I've got to keep on my budget. There you go. Fantastic little resource. So, okay, that's it, guys. If you were, go ahead, Tracy.
I just want to share, we shared about how we hacked our products and cleaning products and all of that. And we also talked about your history of skin conditions and things like that. Well, I have this stuff on my head that it likes to absorb everything that I would wash it with. Like, I mean, no matter what shampoo, and so for years I had to get away from shampoos because it would completely dry out my scalp. So I stopped washing it as much and just doing what I could, right? And then in comes Young Living. I find out about our amazing oils and how they work, because what they do is we've just been talking about all these oils. I'm sorry, my puppy dog's trying to bury her bone, and she's whining, so I apologize. But anyway, we learned how these oils are cleansing, right? Well, there's this oil called purification, and I could not use shampoo on my head, but oils are cleansing, right? So what I do, because I still at that point couldn't use any shampoos, so I put oils directly on my scalp and massage it in while it's dry, because then my skin is going to absorb it. Now I know that the oils are cleansing, right? And I do it all the way around, and my hair becomes a very fragrant diffuser. But then when it dries, I use really hot water. And that washes off all of the excess. And then I use cold water, right? So for years, that's what I did. And then in comes Young Living with a shampoo. Okay. I am one of those that has extremely dry skin. I like oil for cleansing. So I use the oil, the Mara oil cleansing gel for my skin. And I use a lot of coconut oil. So even our great shampoos are too cleansing for my scalp and so heavy because my hair absorbs it. And then it's like this. And I'm sorry, my hair doesn't feel good when it's flat up against my head. So I'm telling you all this because even if you have a great product, it still may not be the best for you at that moment. We always have other options. You can go straight to the oils. If you're having a stain on something that you need to brighten or something, you can go straight to the oil and rub it on there with a little bit of something. It's okay to think outside the box. It's okay to use the oils or the plant juices that we have to help our bodies to live better. So I just had to share that about my hair because everybody asked me, what shampoo do you use? None.
Right.
And then they'll say, when was the last time you know, because they say you don't wash, use shampoo. I'm like, no. When was the last time you washed your hair? You mean like with a cleanser like thing outside of oil? I can't remember, but that doesn't mean we're not clean. Right. Again, let's go back to when we were talking about here in America. Sorry, don't touch your eye. You just put oils on there. Here in America, we over clean and think we have to do things. And what that does is it kills the microbiome on your skin, inside and outside. It's okay to have a little bit of extra oil on your skin. Not too much, but you be clean and stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to say that don't be over cleansing because they're finding that's actually what's breaking down a lot of our children's immunities because they never are allowed to get dirty.
Right.
They're never allowed to play outside in the dirt. And then when you do clean them, use great products.
Right.
Right. And so if we're talking about environmental toxins, I don't want people to think that we're sitting here thinking that getting dirty or all of that are the toxins. I mean, yeah, it could be if you're playing in, muck, toxic waste, but just playing in regular dirt, it's actually good for you. So when we're talking environmental toxins, we're talking about harsh chemicals that have been proven to damage every system that we have, every body system. So environmental toxins is another word for harsh chemicals because everything's a chemical. Even the things in this lovely little bottle of oils are chemicals, but they're beneficial chemicals from plant juices that are beneficial for my body. So I just wanted to leave it with that.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. I totally agree with that. So guys, we mentioned a bunch of different products from Young Living. And so if you would like to get some, please get with the person that invited you tonight. Okay, get with them. They'll be glad to help you get it. There's different ways you can get it, different ways you can save and purchase it. There's even a subscription program to where you can also get things sent to your house at the frequency that you want it, okay? But also it gives you like loyalty points that you can use to redeem for free products, which is pretty cool. That's my favorite thing right there. So just get with them, get with whoever shared the class with you or the link if you're watching the replay, and they'll be glad to help you. So yay, thank you for coming. Next Thursday at 7 o'clock, we're going to continue our Back to Nature series, going to keep moving forward and building a good foundation. We're going to get into reading labels in the kitchen. We're going to start talking about eating some cleaner foods and to making some pretty easy switches, things that your family will love, things that your kids will eat. So, I mean, yeah, it's not that hard. We're going to start sharing some of those in our core recipes that we use, things like that. So thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And then if y'all have any questions, we can answer them as well. See you next week.